Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Bandit, and welcome back to Dark Heresy 2nd Edition. We are joined by the whole crew once again, along with yet another storm. So, we last left off with our heroes, I guess, finding lots and lots of dead bodies. Let's check back in with them.
Okay, so we cleared the top section of this place. Should we try the middle?
Oh, I do remember that you people had found a dead body surrounded by a
Pointed arrows
no, they were
or
pointed by
whatever.
Scatter arrow.
the Chaos Star printed on the ground.
Oh yeah.
That's what it was. So it was like we know that there's some chaos happening here, which is some pretty good heresy, and we're trying to find out what to do from there.
I believe you people said you were going somewhere else.
We were, but I think we should probably check the midsection of this place a bit.
Okay.
That's just my opinion, just because we didn't really meet anybody. Granted,
I'm not
they
telling
might
you people
all be
where to go.
hostile, but
I'm just telling you people what happened.
I understand. I am saying this to the group, not to you, GM.
Good. Because you'd be speaking to the sky.
I know.
You'd be a
His
crazy
opinion
person.
shit anyway.
More so than normal.
Yeah, but
I only have one insanity point.
Yes, but you're a preacher.
No,
you're a
no,
Hierophant.
yeah,
They're
preacher.
innately crazy.
You're at
Kappa.
2, may I need
Anyway.
to remind you?
No,
I
I
have
am at
4,
one
and I'm
with
more
one
well
corruption.
adjusted
Is he
than
at
like
two?
half of you.
wait, is he at 2?
I don't remember.
Yes, she's at 2.
I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
it was
I'm
at
gonna
one and
check,
one
actually.
corruption.
I think I gave you a second one for something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gave you a second
yeah,
one
you did.
for...
Yeah, it was because he thoroughly miffed perception check.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
it was because I rolled a perception check when I didn't need to.
Yeah, I mean, you told him not to, and then you go
Yeah,
downstairs
I
and
specifically
Fox is
told
all
you
breaking
not
down.
to, I think. And,
Yeah, you did it anyway, so you gave him an
And I'm
insanity
pretty sure you
point.
also failed.
No, actually, I passed it.
He
I
passed
rolled-
it.
I
but
think he
like-
passed it. I think he passed
rolled
it, but
a
it didn't
13.
matter.
Yeah.
He rolled
Yeah.
after I specifically said not
He
to.
passed it, but he saw something he didn't want to see, so he gained an insanity point.
Yeah, that.
And then the other insanity point was from talking to you.
Yeah.
Dabs.
And you just, like mentally broke him.
Yeah.
All right,
Crippling
so
depression.
So,
with that bit of nonsense discovered, well, let me finish first. I figured out. Anyone, if you're in favor of going to check the midsection before we head to like the first hive, I guess speak.
anyone want to take
What?
that sacrificial knife?
We should probably take.
Can
that
I
sec-
stab myself with it?
Please don't.
no.
I mean, you could, but it'd be pretty hard for you to actually hurt yourself through your fairly heavy armor.
I'll take it.
It's not exactly
Fuck
meant
you, man.
for combat.
Shit.
Okay.
You could certainly
I guess-
try.
What if it's used for, like, samurai seppuku reasons?
You'd still have a difficult time actually even getting that knife through your armor.
Gay.
Yeah.
Also,
It was meant for,
Someone
like,
else take it.
bloodletting, not for
Actual.
like stabbing. It's not like it's not built to actually cut through something that deeply.
You said it. You said that like it was a sacrificial knife. Does it like have any runes or anything on it, or like any characters or whatever?
You can
Inspect it.
you
Should
can.
I roll to decipher or use
Oh.
roll?
Insanity.
Is there,
It's got
is
insanity
there
on
a
it.
skill that's specifically for that?
Would it be inquiry?
No, that'd be more asking questions.
Awareness?
Because that needs fellowship, remember? I don't think you're gonna really use fellowship on a knife.
Yeah.
I don't know.
you
Maybe it's
can
some...
you can roll perception for that.
All right. I would like to roll perception. But wouldn't it also go with common knowledge, or not common knowledge, but a knowledge?
Knowledge. Shit.
Well,
like,
being
if-
heresy, it probably wouldn't be for your knowledge. Actually,
Mhm.
True.
you only have common knowledge of Adeptus Mistor.
And
But
I'm guessing it doesn't
being
qualify.
specifically for possible heresy, I mean, it probably
it-
wouldn't have
what-
anything to do with yours, so you'd probably get more out of it just by inspecting it.
All right.
What-
So just
I would
roll
like to-
perception.
Wait.
All
Does
right,
that
I would like to
qualify as-
inspect it then.
Okay.
I do not know anything.
Does it qualify
No,
as-
you do.
Oh, I do.
Fairly easy test.
Oh, okay.
It
That's
seems like a fairly simple knife with a couple of etchings on it that look like they are, you can't really tell what they are, but they don't look like anything you have seen, even related to Heresy, specifically. But you could easily hazard a guess that those are like the heraldry, I guess, of the of a possible cult. Seems to fit a description of them tending to like mark their own stuff.
Okay, so it's an occult knife. Got it.
Most likely.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. I would like to ask. Wait, who would actually have decent knowledge of heresy here?
I mean, if it's about tech.
It's a knife. There's not much tech about it.
I don't know.
It's a knife. It's a knife. It's a fairly dull knife at that.
This is a
Unless you want to find out what exactly its composition is. In which case, you're probably not going to be able to do that on the fly.
Yeah. Okay.
We're wasting a bunch of time on a stupid little knife.
Yeah, we are.
Let us to the midsection.
Let's
You said it was
just
stupid.
go.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's throw the knife at. Why can't I put the knife in?
Why don't you throw it at him?
I said put. I said put, not throw.
Okay.
Okay. He throws it. I rolled a catch.
No, you fool!
You throw it at him and he catches it by the handle.
Cool.
No, that's
It's like, thanks, fam, and puts it in his back pocket.
21.
Oh no.
All you think is that you've got another melee weapon to use now in addition to your power sword.
Dabs.
Okay, so should we go to the? Okay, so what? Let's do the vote that Shion was saying. I would like to say that we should go to the midsection of this place. Any in favor of that?
Sure.
Oh shit.
Then we go.
So you go to the midsection of this building. There's not much else there. There's a lot less there. There's a lot less dead bodies.
That's a good thing.
Around. There's still some. All of them by windows that have been broken from the outside.
So, okay, I was going to say, so
And
nobody was
these people look
defenestrated.
like they've been knocked back from the window as if they've been shot from it.
Fuck.
Huh.
Indeed.
How about this? We've investigated one building.
there's no signs that there's anything close to what happened
up above.
Downstairs. This was on the bottom floor.
All right.
Okay.
There's nothing to suggest that there was any related activity to that scene on the midsection of this building.
So essentially, that sacrifice was just specific. Casting specific to where we just was.
Well, the ritual at least took place down there, so you could probably guess that they didn't do another one.
Yeah, basically.
I guess
Can we expect one of the bodies that was was shot from the window?
Yes.
See if it was like a. Yeah, I'd like to see if it's the type of wound it has. If it's like a.
Yeah,
if it's like
how
a
he
las-
died.
A
Roll
las weapon.
perception.
All right, give me a second.
Okay. Yeah, it's fairly easy to tell. My tests were too hard in the last one. It was fairly easy. It's fairly easy to tell these people were killed by autoguns. Solid projectile weapons.
Auto weapons.
As an aside, the people in the last building that you were in, that you made your base temporarily, they were also killed by autoguns.
All right, so they were killed by auto weapons, but we had broken las weapons found in a different place.
That is actually very interesting.
Wonder if those were weapons of the few people who tried fighting back, but they're not supposed to have las weapons in the first damn place.
Well, there was only one las
A
weapon.
fair a las weapon. Seems seems almost like it's just a red herring. The chase after.
Hmm.
Mm.
I want to see if there's anything valuable on the bodies.
Roll for yeah, just roll perception.
Mm.
There's you could tell that a lot of them have been picked clean from of ammo and weapons.
Mm. Good.
So, though not valuables.
So they didn't come in with a robbery in mind. They just came to take. They just took more ammunition.
It also may occur to you if you decide to think for a moment that
Oh.
none of the people around had none of the bodies had weapons.
That is true.
And in fact, a few of the bodies had almost military grade vests on with ammo pouches, and each of those have been emptied out.
Oh.
What kind of vests are we talking about here?
Oh, just simple stuff.
Okay, so
yeah.
not better than what we have. Got it.
No,
Wow.
it's
I mean-
it's not armor. It's just holsters for ammo and such.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's just mostly like it's really just ammo pouches and stuff to hold like magazines because due to the although with these sizes given that perception you could probably tell that those are for holding autogun magazines
All right.
of some autogun of some kind at least.
So from what we've gathered here, there was a ritual. There was a beast up a bit ago that killed people. A broken las gun, and that these people are well armed down here and lost.
Autoguns are fairly common actually.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yeah, being well armed by having las guns that doesn't actually mean a whole lot, especially not in
Okay.
this area.
Okay.
Given that you're on the upper hive, so it's a bit more it's a bit wealthier, so they actually have like armed security.
Oh, okay.
That brings us a question. Is security also dead here?
Oh yeah, you can probably tell that a lot of this was security for nobles, given a good number of at least on the lower floors, there's a fair number of bodies of some imperial personnel, although not lower tiered imperial personnel. There's planet locked, I guess you could call them Arbites. So not the official imperial Arbites.
I see.
But just the ones that are usually stuck to a planet that usually have like autoguns out the wazoo. And God, do they love to use them. Like a lot.
So we have the beast, and we have the various uses of autoguns to kill these people, and the ritual with chaos involved. And I don't know if we can exactly rule out the possibility that some of them just turned on the others, or if they summoned something that caused them to go mad. But it's all really feels like we're missing just a few pieces before we can really get the whole story of what happened here.
Gian, you could probably ascertain a few things by studying them from using a warp sense or awareness of some kind. You would be able to tell if there were traces of like a summoning having taken place. You would definitely be able to tell that.
So I guess I'll get on to using warp sense to see what I can find.
Oh, okay.
Oh! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Rest in peace.
Why do we let
Serious?
Shion use her psychic powers?
That's why I was.
You
about
might
to
be dead
say-
on the outside too. Hang on a
All
second.
right. So
Oh,
Let
okay,
me,
that's
uh,
not.
So should we roll again, or does
Wait.
wait, that's not a
automatically-
critical
GM does
failure.
that.
Can't you
Because
use a
this
fate point to
wasn't-
reroll
this was
that?
No,
not
that is
under,
a crit failure.
No, I mean that's not a pure crit fail though.
But it's double.
So you can't use a fate point to reroll that.
I mean, you could, if you want.
Use the fate.
I'll use the fate point.
Okay.
And
because
before he rolls 100.
Okay.
that's
Much
so much
better.
better.
All right. Just get rid of one of the 9s. You don't need it. Okay. So you sit down, you concentrate, start meditating, you start levitating off the ground for a moment. People got scared, and then all of a sudden your eyes just like shoot open, and you're like, I see everything.
Be gone, thoughts.
Your eyes start glowing just like that meme.
Whopple!
And so
Alright.
you were able to see there was definitely no summoning that took place here.
Okay, that's a relief.
And in fact, you can actually get a much clearer picture of what actually did happen. From what you can see,
yes, exposition.
when you peer into the warp and try and see just exactly what transpired here, you finally get a clear picture of what happened. The fog has finally cleared, showing you actually what the hive looked like before it decided to explode with people shooting each other. And-
Was it at least halfway decent?
Well, it looks much nicer than it did now, but it's a hive city. It never looks nice. It's a nuclear hellhole. What do you expect? But you then see that a fairly large group of people, all with guns, are kind of gathering into the houses as if they are preparing to defend against something. And you can hear people speaking as if they're echoes directly from the warp itself, speaking about insurrections that have been happening in the lower hive and how they may spread to the top. Everything pretty much cuts off from there, and basically you get a slightly fast forward a bit, going to what looks like full-on war, with even bringing out like autoguns just firing everywhere, with a very select few having las guns, all of them decked out in full Imperial Arbites armor, just attempting to stop this like huge wave of people, all of them armed with auto guns, auto pistols, and pretty much every other type of solid slug projectile you could think of. And all of them dressed fairly similarly as well. And from what it looks like, someone, well, at least the people holed up in the building seem to be doing alright.
For the moment.
With, the hell that's taking place. Ships are flying off, likely carrying nobles to leave the planet. Some of which are just outright shot out of the sky. Until you finally get a glimpse, for just a brief moment before your whole vision goes back to clouds, of one man seeming to radiate just a terrible aura from him. It chills your spine as you see this person walk up to the front of the line as it fires onto the buildings, and snaps his fingers. And just like that, 3 of the buildings nearby suddenly let out a loud bang before beginning to crumble beneath their own weight. And the man pulls out from his side a very, very ornate looking weapon. A sword, most likely, that seems to almost be radiating with a terrible, terrible energy. Almost as if the sword itself were possessed. Everything then just cuts to black. As your vision drifts away from you.
So I saw a lot there. We know, at least now know, that it was likely the cause of an insurrection, that we've seen all these dead and deceased here. But there was this man. There was something very off about him. There's something very evil about him, and he has terrible power, and he has this weapon to emanate this power.
Roll, I assume as you describe this to him, John and Quell, roll intelligence.
Oh shit, that's gonna fuck me up. Something stupid as hell.
Watch him roll a well.
Well,
I rolled pretty crap.
Quell stopped listening halfway through. He got bored, and was just like, "Where are the pictures?"
That's actually funny because I was gonna ask.
But John realizes that one, that dude might have a fancier sword than him, and that cannot be allowed to happen. God Emperor forbid it.
That was good.
But also, that dude sounds like, based on how you described his uniform, sounded like an officer of the Imperial Guard.
Oh, I was gonna ask if there was an insignia that he saw.
I believe the exposition dump would have let us know if there was an insignia on this man's.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to see everything, but he was dressed fairly similar to every one of the other cultists, but you could tell he probably was the one in charge of them.
Okay.
I mean, a guy just can't snap his fingers and make 3 buildings collapse under their own weight without being important. Come on,
They let out a
that'll
loud
be
bang
me one
before they
day.
started to collapse. Like as if it were a large explosion.
Yeah. A bomb, if you will.
Possible. Although he literally walked out into the front of literally an army and then just snaps, and 3 simultaneous bangs just erupt over the entire area, almost seeming to deafen you as you watch this.
Oh.
And just you see 3 buildings nearby just start to crumble.
The new VR technology is pretty strong if I can feel as if I'm deafened.
Open for testing now, just the Warp VR simulator.
Alright.
Try it
Only
now, and maybe you
$13.99.
too can visit the Chaos Gods and go insane.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that.
I think you should.
I'd love to see the results of it, to be completely honest.
I
Are
would
you
too,
sure he
but
is the
I wouldn't
Chaos
avoid
God? He
that.
did give me an insanity point.
Nah, Chaos Gods will
Don't make me get you another one.
100% insane.
Please don't.
But-
Bastille, when you have 4 insanity points and you're more well-adjusted than half of your party.
Kappa.
That's
But,
funny.
Well,
Only
that's
'cause you
because
don't
you're not
want to go
role-playing
insane.
correctly.
Oh, let me see. So we have this information. I think now's the time we should check the first hive, because I have a feeling that the cult or whatever is responsible for this, and the man in charge of it all, would definitely be at that first hive. Isn't it? Is that like the
You
one
know
that's
what?
the fancy
I
one?
second this because I
Well,
want
That the first hive, the Hive Solace, is well, from what you can tell, it's more well off than the other 2.
Mm.
There are no reports, at least, of any kind of incursions or insurrections of any kind.
But it was like,
However,
possibly
there's lots
suspected
of problems in the politics department
yeah,
of it.
that's what I remember. Which means I have a feeling they did what they did here, and then went over there to start trying to control everything.
It's possible, although the approach taken with this hive was, as you just saw, was incredibly direct.
Yes, a lot less diplomacy, a lot more.
There was little to no subtlety. In fact, you could tell, like, if that guy was the leader, he literally stood at the front line of his own army.
That's commendable. I like the balls on this man, but we kind of have to take.
You could tell if he wasn't the leader of the entire group, he was at least like one of the highest ranking people out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because he commanded them forward.
So, I have a bit of a... I don't know if this would work, but to warn the other hives of this man,
well,
we might be too late.
You couldn't get the radio equipment to work, last I remember, so you kind of just ripped out the hard drive.
I have it.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised you knew how to do that, but whatever. It's like, hey, I think this holds data. Mine now.
Yeah. Did I break it? No. Great. Wonderful. Let's move on.
That's the.
As far as you can tell, the machine spirit is fairly agitated, but it's still there. It's very agitated at having been taken from its comfy home forcibly by a strange man in a red cloak.
I'll put you in another home. Do not worry. Probably actual
the machine just loudly sparks at you.
Actual dialogue.
Listen, shit.
Anyway, the machine does not do this, but it is still working. But you could probably tell that this is the housing for the machine spirit of some kind. And so there's probably stuff in there.
Yay.
So do you think we should head off to the Solace?
Yes. We should head off to Solace now.
Okay.
I'm okay.
You make your way back to the ship. It is it's about late in the afternoon.
Is what's her name still here? I forget her name.
Nyla.
Nyla should
yes,
still be
she
there.
stays with the ship.
Okay.
Under direct orders, she will not stray from the ship unless otherwise stated. And no, she will not listen to the rest of you.
Yeah, well, if we need her to do anything, we have to get Autismo to tell her to do stuff for us.
Or the Inquisitor. She will listen to those two.
Yeah, basically.
But you see, Autismo has a lot more time on his hands than the Inquisitor.
Yeah. Are you implying that I have time?
More time than the Inquisitor.
Zawardo.
Anyway, so you make your way back to the ship, and do you decide to head to the Hive, or do you decide to go back to the Inquisitor's ship?
I think we should go... You know what? We do have information that the Inquisitor might want to hear, but it might be better to go to the Hive so he doesn't get pissed off that we only have this little information.
Yeah, let's do
He'll take
He might know about the knife too.
You can. I'd like to also point out you can drop off any of the evidence you have found.
Drop off
on
the
that
knife.
ship.
Yeah, let's drop that off first.
Such as you might want to drop off that that hard drive.
Oh yeah.
He
that
does have
break.
his own personal tech priests and engine seers.
Okay.
Because well, you know, it's a ship. You need them on there.
Mm-hmm.
So he can have them also work on it.
All right. That sounds like a good idea.
All right.
Maybe
So-
we'll off and then head back to Solace.
Yes.
You make your way onto the ship.
Oh.
Do any of you have things that you need to do on here? Get them done now while you're here.
I would like to see if I can acquire a medical mono skull. If possible, or...
Yeah, I heard that. I believe that requires a Or it gives you Medicaid.
Hmm?
Who just died?
That would be...
He did, of course.
Please stop dying. It's unhealthy.
Alright, and what would...
No.
Yeah. I think you can attempt
Alright.
to acquire that.
I'm using my own, so not to... I should have used
No.
Inquisitors.
No, you
I
wouldn't
would
have
have
gotten
passed. I would have.
it. No, you wouldn't
No,
have gotten
not with the Inquisitors.
Got him.
Could I try
it. Oh
getting?
boy,
my
I got a
sniper
loud
rifle?
dog now.
Could I try getting my sniper rifle now?
No.
You may attempt one time.
Okay, I want to trade in one of my auto guns for a bonus.
The Inquisitor keeps a dog on his ship just because it's like a parrot that sits on his shoulder. Except it just sits on his head and barks at people.
Bork, bork.
That hat's actually not a hat, it's just a dog in disguise.
Alright, so that auto gun will give me a +10, and because I'm feeling ballsy, I'll use the Inquisitor's influence for this.
Andy.
Alright.
Alright, here goes everything! Nice! I get it!
Actually...
I used the
No, he
Inquisitor.
traded in the auto gun.
Okay.
I think he does.
You were also using the Inquisitors. That's
Yeah.
something you need to state.
He did.
He did.
Oh, he did? I didn't hear him.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Boy? That boy just got a
Congratulations,
sniper rifle.
Luster. You now have yourself a brand new, maybe not so shiny, sniper rifle. Alright,
I believe
let's,
this
Alright,
is...
so I need to make some changes since I traded in one of my auto guns for it.
Yep, and you traded in all your ammo too.
Oh, okay.
Well, all your
All of
auto
the-
gun ammo. It's only for auto guns.
Alright, wait, all of it? So, like, just the clip that was in the gun, right? I have two of
No,
them.
you turned in your spares. You don't really need to tell them about your second auto gun.
Oh,
Indeed you do not.
okay. So,
You're
I just turned in...
welcome!
So, listen, preacher man.
I'm only saying the truth.
So you have one magazine.
Alright, so...
So you have no reserve ammo. Because he gives you sniper rifle ammo in exchange
Alright.
for like your autogun ammo.
That's
so-
something I should have asked. I should have tried to requisition more ammo. Oh well.
Alright, so that's an extra clip of sniper ammo?
Hang on a moment. Where is a sniper rifle? There it is. Boop. Okay. How much ammo does it give you? I forget. I want to say it gives you 2 spare clips of something,
Alright.
because that's usually what it is. It's like you get a full clip of ammo, and then you get the spares. At least that's what I'm doing.
Alright. So that's updated. Well, not entirely updated. I need to change the info on my character sheet.
Okay.
You can do that as we move along.
Yeah.
So, we drop off the information that we have. So, do we head off now, or is there anything else people want to do?
I'm gonna try to requiesce a red dot laser sight for my last gun.
Eee!
Okay.
That's not a bad idea.
And
Just using my own influence.
What is
I
that
believe it
thing?
was a
Red dot laser sight.
yeah.
It's scarce, so it's a -10, I believe. And you were using your own?
Yes.
Nope. Nope, you fail.
No. I will get that one day.
One of these days.
Just like my mono skull healer thing. I forget the name already. Medbot.
Okay, I'll find the stupid ammo thing on this app later.
All right, are we all ready to go?
Yep, well, none of you even needed a restock on ammo, so you are heading back now to the hive.
Huzzah! We're going to Solus, correct?
Solace, correct.
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 Anyway,
What?
you now are on approach to the Hive of Solace. It does not look as crappy, although
That's
it looks
not
crappy.
That's not saying much.
It's a hive world after all. They don't exactly look pretty. On your way there, you notice a distinct lack of ships that are going out of it, despite it not looking destroyed as all hell.
That's concerns.
This is likely due to the laws that say you cannot travel.
When there are enemies nearby.
No, that's fast travel. These
That
ships
was a
aren't
good
fast.
meme.
These ships aren't fast.
Rip.
They likely couldn't stop you if you had an actually fast ship like yours.
Dab.
And they don't really want you going into or out of the city, but thanks to the fact it's a Corvus Blackstar, you look very much like you could shoot them out of the sky. And so, let's see if they really... Oh, crap. Okay, so they try to stop you, and then Nyla just barks at them, and they back down immediately. Like,
Yes!
just scared for their lives.
Good shit.
You rolled
A.
a 4 on intimidation.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Damn.
She just screams at them, and they're just like, okay, we don't want to show. They're like, please go this way. Here, we'll give you the fancy landing zone. And they do. They give you a very nice landing spot near the near one of the higher hive spires. And that's when the Inquisitor radios you over the ship's Fox network,
Yay.
saying that
that's
the hive you're going to is currently dealing with a lot of political turmoil, and as such would probably not be as wise to, run around threatening people with guns.
Aw.
But in the event you have to go into a social interaction, such as if you infiltrate a hive, a noble's residence, to contact him beforehand, and he will get you some contacts.
Noted and
That's very
appreciated.
nice. Yes.
But he urges you that not much is known outside of here, other than there's a slight possibility of there being a infection or disease of some kind going around, though it seems suspect at best.
Woo.
It sounds to him like it's just a fabricated story to keep outsiders off their backs.
Exactly. Which means there's likely heresy in here.
There's a heresy.
That's what he expects, and that's what he also expects you to find out.
We've got this. Do not worry.
So, off you go. What do you do?
Where are we landing? Are we allowed to land in the upper echelon, middle?
Yeah, you will be pretty much
Yeah.
restricted to the upper echelon due to the fact that there's no direct reason to need to go into any other area of the hive.
Okay.
Unless something else comes up, but as far as we can tell,
Nothing has came up.
You only need to deal with nobles.
Right.
Okay.
God Emperor have mercy on you people.
Stuffy types.
Uh,
Last thing I want to be dealing with right now.
Here, here.
Shion, should we tell them? Should we try to tell the head of the hive or the highest members here about what you saw?
I feel like it'd be a good idea, but if they're already the enemy, it would.
It would hurt us in the long run. That's
We'd
it
have
should
to
be-
take a risk.
okay.
We have to get the information up there. Worst comes to worst, we find out they're all heretics and we didn't deal with it the old-fashioned way.
I'd like to point out that there are planet-bound Arbites literally everywhere. all under the employ of nobles.
So we'll have no chance, basically.
You try to ramble
You
away.
could certainly
Unless you
try
all
and like take
screws
this
up.
entire hive by force. But
Let's not do that. B.
Unless
I can tell you this much
I
right now:
wanna do
you'll
that.
fail.
Uh,
No amount of rolls will save you.
What if we all
Unless you
rolled that
like it.
once?
You're
Die.
surrounded by literally hundreds of Arbites.
Roll that one, survive.
Here's the thing: we'd have to continually roll for each one. It's like eventually we just
And
get.
they could just decide to call in gunships on you.
I understand.
And your mini Black Star is not exactly equipped with weapons.
Yeah.
you're
Bunch
right.
of asses being grassed.
Alright, so
The Inquisitor did tell you that a direct approach will probably not work so well.
Oh,
so
At
we
least
should
not
try
a
to,
forceful direct approach.
You know what? Let us get information first out of the nobles before telling them anything.
That would be helpful. Nobles
Yes.
certainly love to
Gus.
wave around the fact that they have money and what they're allowed to do with it.
and information.
So they will be fairly happy to try and prove that they are better than you in every way.
Great. Yeah.
Because there's nothing that apparently makes their dick harder than a superiority complex.
Also makes it smaller, but we don't tell them that.
So, what do you go do? You're currently in the starport right now. People are giving you weird looks because, well, you were allowed to come into the city. They're more giving you like just strange looks and then wondering to themselves, than just like quietly talking amongst themselves. Likely questioning whether or not they without their knowledge the travel ban has been lifted or not.
Well, let's actually head into the hive and get to finding some nobles that are, maybe willing to speak with us.
I would say that is our best option.
Okay, so you leave the airport, and let me bring up my notes actually. Here we go. Okay. So you leave the port and you're greeted with a sight that's much nicer to look at than posterity, which is buildings that are more or less in the same condition, except not falling apart and not filled with gunshots. There's plenty of guns.
That's nice.
Usually in the hands of people. And those people happen to be alive, so...
It's in a better state already, but...
Roll, all of you, actually. Roll perception.
Hey, I passed. I finally percepted something.
So did Quell, so did Xion. Autismo, roll perception.
Oh boy, here I go.
Here I go, I'm killing again.
Wow, he did the best of all of you.
Ew.
Okay,
Autistic
so
eyes.
all of you but our resident tech monkey, who is more just amazed by his own sniper rifle that he's still looking at it with twinkling eyes.
Finally got it.
You're
That
cradling
sounds
it like a baby.
Yes.
You're just too overjoyed to actually care about anything else now. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
But the rest of you notice that though all of the resident Arbites walking about are armed more or less the way they should be, with auto guns or shotguns, and a few shock weapons, such as shock mauls, and various other things to beat down the local populace because funny. I mean, if you got power, might as well just kick the poor.
Exactly.
And they take that to a quite literal sense.
Oh wow,
Um,
I'm quoting you
that's
for
normal.
this year on that. That's a quote from you.
It's normal actually in this setting, believe it or not. But anyway, so you the rest of you though notice that their weapons aren't exactly in great condition. They're rather piss poor, actually. Their craftsmanship is, well, they look like they can fire, but they have very odd design choices, I guess.
Odd.
Such as, well, a lot of them carry bayonets on there, which is rather abnormal. It's not completely unheard of, but most of the time it's just the Imperial Guard that sticks a bayonet on their weapon. Not often is it the Arbites, and these bayonets don't look so great. They look old.
The weapons themselves also look about old as well. Like
they don't look like they're unusable, but they certainly aged a bit more than even the autogun that Nyla found on Hive Posterity.
Okay, that's a real problem.
So like they look almost as if they just haven't been cared for.
Which is not standard Arbites behavior, I'd imagine. Even if they're planet
Not really. But each hive, these are planet-bound Arbites. They are not the go from planet to planet being a proper Judge Dredd type of Arbites.
Right.
But they usually at least have some basic care over their weapons. Even the Imperial Guard, who are trained for all of like 10 minutes and then sent out to go die, even they know how to. They're given at least a booklet that tells them how to like clean their weapon and everything, which they often use for toilet paper.
Oh.
So
that's irony.
hey, that's about how useful a book is. So, but even they know how to clean their weapons. These guys should too. It just looks like they just have it. Some of them have larger stocks as well. So those without a bayonet have a larger stock that looks like it's a lot thicker. As if you run out of ammo, well, might as well whack them in the face with your gun. Better than nothing.
True.
So it looks like the stocks were reinforced to make them less likely to break or crack.
I see.
And also to make them hit a lot harder. Overall, it's a bit more almost primitive than you would expect from upper hive Arbites.
Something's awry. I don't like it. We need to.
This is also much worse than like your standard issue laziness.
Yeah.
Like they just aren't deciding to clean their weapons. Like no, they've like actively decided against it. Is what it seems like. They're that bad. They're dirty and like just it would make a gun fanatic cry with how they've been mistreated.
And I know one, and I'm pretty sure that's more than accurate.
So
yes, go ahead.
So I'm assuming that this place is either too lazy to care, or that they're underfunded, or we're in the middle of being taken over.
There's various possibilities, but one thing's for certain is that these weapons are not in the position they should be in the event that,
Something happens.
Right. It almost feels like it's intentional. It's as if they're actively, like you obviously mentioned to us, but like as if they're actively letting it deteriorate this badly. Are they trying to...
And all hives do have their own traditions, even down to the military thing. Even down to like how they worship the emperor. Like some planets think that the emperor is in the sun.
Neat.
because, you know, when their planet was liberated, he literally brought his warriors from the skies to come down and liberate the planet from all the bad people. And so they think that he lives within the sun. This is not one of those planets, but this is going further than any kind of like tradition with military. This is sad. But
Find a noble time.
they could be underfunded. That is possible. Unlikely, given it's the upper hive. But you can certainly jot that down as a possibility.
Oh.
Perhaps they are. Perhaps they're not.
We could ask. I mean, that's something we could actually ask a noble, and I'm pretty sure we get an answer pretty easily.
Oh, they'll be more than happy to tell you how much more money they have than you. It'd be weird if they didn't.
Oh, so let's go find one.
Please.
So if they don't tell you how much more money they have than you, then you could probably guess that they don't have very much money at the moment.
Oh, shit.
That's how bad that is. Like, they will take any chance to make themselves sound better than you. They're
Again,
very stuck up in this area, in this sector in particular.
The megalomania, very strong.
Pretty much, but it's more or less expected, really.
Yeah.
At least in this subsector. I believe I put you people in subsector obscura. Or no, I'm sorry. Segmentum obscura.
Segmentum obscura.
Yeah, it's like a segment of the galaxy. It's a fairly large section, if I recall. But as its name implies, there's a lot obscure about it, so that's why I'm doing that.
Naruhodo.
But yeah, in this sector at least, it's pretty much expected that they're going to act that much better than you. So, anything other than that would seem out of the ordinary.
You tell them to look at me. Kappa. But yeah, let's go. Let's just pull a noble aside to take a moment of the time to ask about the state, the money, the currency, if you will.
How many of you have navigate surface?
I don't think I have it.
Nope.
I have it.
Yeah, I believe you were also
Yeah, I
born on a
remember.
hive world, so you get pluses to that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, let him do the talking.
It's-
Thank
Wow. No, this is just for you to get around to find people.
Yeah, because
There-
he was on a
it's
hive
fairly
world.
crowded with a lot of Arpides.
Yeah, and because he was from a hive world, crowds are just open terrain to him.
I want to find somebody.
I believe you might be capable of doing so. Now you have navigate surface too.
Oh, shoot.
Wait, navigate surface is intelligence?
Hmm?
Okay.
In fact, all
That's
these.
I
That's
would have
weird.
guessed agility, but whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna pull a GM rule on that and tell you people use whichever roll is higher. Like, you use whichever stat is higher on that one, because I would count it as it's agility for both of you.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Roll agility, both of you. Quell forgot how to walk.
Don't worry, Keck's
His,
got enough walk
his
for the
legs
two
gave
of them.
out and he just sits down.
Leg machine broke.
Leg machine don't work. Come back another time, and that gets Luster's attention. It's like, hang on, I'll fix you. Pulls out a
machine
wrench
broke.
out of nowhere
Oh no.
and just looks at you with like almost like a very terrifying appearance for any tech priest.
Get away from me.
But John seems to be like just easily pushing people aside like they don't exist.
He has autism. Let them know.
Constantly shoving his Imperial Guard badge in their face. You're just shoving your Imperial Guard heraldry like in their face, and they kind of just like let it go. Although they give you some weird looks. You actually managed to find a noble somehow, and you pull him aside, and he's not happy with you. You're like, excuse me,
Yeah.
sir, I'd like to ask you a question about money.
Ooh, money.
And that immediately gets his attention. It's like, oh, you're poor.
Oh, you're poor.
You may ask him a question. You may ask the wealthy noble a few questions. as he wants to appear charitable to the poor.
Why you bullying me?
Please, no. Please ask actual questions.
It's only natural for someone with more money.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Is not Gizmo the only one who has him at this point?
No, you all
all
kind of
followed?
are able to
Okay.
follow him somewhat.
Thank you.
You all kind of catch up as soon as you hear the noble say, "Was like, well, it's of course that I have more money."
Yep. Okay. Perfect timing.
You're able to hear the fact of him bragging about his money.
Well, I have a power sword, so suck it.
Please be quiet, Autismo.
Fuck off!
He
Oh
looks
my
at it and
gosh.
he's like, "Oh, you're only slightly poor."
I'm more poor than you think, faggot.
Please stop.
Oh no.
Questions, Autismo.
He looks at you confused, wondering what that word is. He's also speaking very condescending to you because you don't speak High Gothic.
I would like. Okay, so do any of you have a question you would like me to ask?
Yes. Ask them about the funding of their arbites.
That's what I was thinking, but thank you for wording it properly.
Okay, you
I would
ask
like
him
to,
that.
I would like to ask him that in High Gothic.
Okay, I assumed you would.
yeah. I
The
see
funding.
And
that
you immediately catch his attention, and he turns to you in a much less condescending tone and speaks back to you in High Gothic. The rest of you are just completely lost. Because none of you speak it.
This guy didn't come up with a comeback, so he's talking to a faggot. Get a load of this guy.
Well, he immediately replies to you in High Gothic. I was like, "What would you like to know about like exorbitant amounts of money?"
I would like to know where you are funding said money, since it looks like the Arbites aren't really using said wealth to their advantage.
He looks at you rather confused and saying, "Why, we arm our Arbites the best that we can. It's for our sake, you know."
I understand, but if you look at them closely, they're not that. Their weapons are in a horrible shape. It feels like they can almost not fire correctly.
Well, he explains to you, just almost as if brushing that off. I was like, "Well, what do you expect from people without power?"
Oh.
I would expect that the people within power try to keep those who they want to be protected by to be better at their job.
Well, excuse me, I just gotta come up with dialogue. Okay. Sorry, it takes me a moment sometimes to formulate dialogue.
That's perfectly fine.
Okay, so he then explains. I'm not gonna keep doing it in character. It's getting too much. It's gonna take me too long. He explains that he can't really expect it. Like they do what they can by arming them as best, like with the best tools that they can, which is total crap. Because if they could, they'd attempt to arm them with actual las weapons,
Yes.
which is, since it's not considered necessary, it would be considered an unnecessary expense. And well, as much as nobles love those, they aren't an unnecessary expense on themselves. So, he explains in the most scripted way possible, if you would understand that.
Oh yeah, we know what that means.
Yeah, if he explains in the most scripted way possible that they do their part in arming their security. How their security behaves afterwards is not their concern. So long as they do their jobs, which they have been by basically being the very, very, very brutal police force that they are. Seriously, police brutality is like part of the training.
Oh no.
Yeah, they're that bad.
I didn't realize we were in Chicago.
Yeah, that's normal though for Arbites essentially, but he basically just, you could actually take that almost as if like he's just insulting your intelligence by doing that, but
I
you
will
probably
hold back
shouldn't
my
say that.
tongue. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also like to. Should I do this in character as well, or should I just tell you what I would like to ask as well?
Oh yeah,
Up
just
to you.
you could just tell me whatever you want to ask him.
All right, I would like to ask him about the infections, like, are the rumors about there being an infection coming around true, or is it just a falsehood?
Well, I would assume you don't ask him if it's a falsehood. That would not go well. Because that would almost sound as if you're accusing the nobility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
no. He says he doesn't know much about it other than the he again pulls out the false emotion and the scripted dialogue of he feels so sorry for the he says this in low gothic, by the way. He feels so terrible about the conditions of the people in the middle and lower hive, and how it's such a shame that they have to deal with this terrible plague. You don't even need to roll. You could tell he's full of shit.
Oh yeah, I'm cursing under my breath right now.
But he
would
said
like-
that in low gothic
Yeah.
just to
That was
just
what
to
tipped me
sound
off.
like he's better. Just to
Yeah.
sound like he's better.
Yeah, that's what really, like, I actually got pissed at that.
There's one more thing I would
You
like
can
to
actually
ask.
you can roll.
Can I hit him?
No,
No.
please
No.
don't.
Please
Can't
don't.
because currently Golgarth is in between you and he would stop you.
I punched
As would the
Golgarth.
divine force
I know
from
you-
above, aka me.
I know
Damn
he
it.
would punch
I
me,
will
but-
railroad this one time.
Mhm.
Because I can't actually figure out what would happen afterwards, and I can't be bothered right now.
That's
We
fine.
would probably
Um,
all be
let's
killed
see.
and or sent put in jail.
Shut up, mate.
Can we get back on topic, please?
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
No.
Roll perception.
Golgarth or
Cool.
Intelligence. Intelligence. No. Yeah, actually, all of you can.
Alright.
Okay.
Although the rest of you will be taking like a small negative.
Mm.
Xion, you think that like this guy is like a paragon?
No, don't you do this to me. Not like this.
You think he was a paragon with what he just said?
Question.
It's
do
like,
we
oh, he
get-
might actually care.
do-
Wait a minute.
Does he get minuses, or do we get minuses?
The rest of you do
since we
because
already know that
because he's currently speaking to you in High Gothic.
and then says
Um,
this in Low Gothic.
Oh no, this is for something else that he's.
Oh,
he's
okay.
this is for some of the other things that he said. Did you roll as well? You rolled a 50.
Yeah.
Who didn't roll? Quell, roll.
Sorry.
Okay.
I think like almost everybody got it except me. It was
I
So
don't think
because all of you who can't speak High Gothic got minuses to it.
Yeah.
Did I pass?
I mean
And
pluses,
Ye-
technically.
no, minuses actually, because pluses are like it adds to the skill itself.
Oh, okay, okay.
It like adds to the characteristic
All right.
that's
for
cool.
the sake of the test. Minuses are like it subtracts from the characteristic. That's what it means. Doesn't add to the roll
Okay.
at all.
Okay, okay.
So none of you actually could tell,
Really?
other than he's a stuck-up asshole. Except for Luster, who
Oh.
finally took his attention away from his fancy new sniper rifle. And you can tell that he is full of crap on every word he is saying. You can't understand what he's saying when he's speaking High Gothic, but you could tell that every word is almost scripted. None of it sounds natural for a person to speak. And
Question,
that's even besides the fact that it's a different language than you can speak. You can just tell this is so full of shit.
question, can you tell me how many degrees of failure I was at?
Well, you didn't have any minuses at all
Yeah.
because you can speak it. So you can basically hear them as if they're regular words. The rest of them are just going by how the words sound.
Okay.
So that's why they took like a -10.
Okay.
No, you just this was a pass or fail.
Okay.
Yeah, this one wasn't degrees of success or failure. This one was just a straight pass or fail.
All right.
And yeah, you turn to Golgarth and whisper in his ear like everything he's saying is fake.
You
Actually,
know what I've
no, you say that over the earpieces that you have.
Yeah. I would also like to try to whisper any questions you want me to ask.
You could just turn to them and ask them that.
Oh, okay.
Because he assumes that you're just speaking for the poor.
Just
Oh yeah,
speaking for
because
the
I am a
poor.
priest. Yeah, okay, that works.
Oh, yeah.
And he could
wow.
speak to you a little bit more openly. Or at least you assume he could, because, you speak the language of nobles, essentially.
Yeah.
Huh.
He doesn't have to worry about, somebody attempting to use his words against him, even though that doesn't happen.
I would like to ask these people. I would like to try to put on a facade like they're my congregation or whatever.
You want to die?
No, but we
as much as this is so distasteful.
They would pretend to listen to you, and then this isn't a shrine world. They're not as
loyal.
They're not as outwardly embracing of the emperor. They obviously worship the emperor, but they're not as
Outwardly devoted,
forward about it as like a shrine world would be, where they're literally essentially surrounded by the miracles of the god emperor every day. They just the god emperor rules the Imperium. Hooray!
It's basically moderate religion.
Yeah, pretty much moderate.
Would any of you like to know? Would any of you want to ask me? Would any of you like me to ask him a question on your behalf?
Can he die?
Tismo, please stop.
He should die.
I would like to whisper in the earpiece. I understand, but if we need more information.
Yes, let's
He
get
should
our
die.
and then we kill him.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Okay, would any
I
of
like
you...
this idea.
So, no more questions for him, so should we let him be?
No, fucking kill him.
No.
You can't. This is a public
Yeah.
Yeah, just my one
spot.
don't
You
give a
wouldn't.
shit.
You wouldn't be able to even raise your weapon before being shot to death.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I would, if the rest of us have no more questions, I'd also like to ask the noble, is there anyone else who you know that might be a little bit more knowledgeable about these subjects, such as the High Council or someone?
Well, let's see. Well, you ask him this, and he kind of just looks at you like you're crazy and don't know who he is. Almost seems a little bit
So he's a High Council
sad at
member.
first, and then he almost as if a light bulb went on his head. This is the time to basically show off in a dick measuring contest.
Whoa.
Well, I am over.
It's just basically you get the idea, it's his time to grandstand. And he explains that he is amongst the higher up of the nobles.
But his size is shit.
Shut up, Tismo.
He doesn't hear that. He's currently lost in his own world of basically
Delusions
trying to
of grandeur.
advertise himself as
I'm hot
as
shit,
the
guys.
grand poobah of people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Grand
so
poobah
he basically just says that he is actually one of the higher up nobles and one of the linchpins of this whole hive city.
That's a laugh.
And he makes it very clear that he is a great source of information.
I think he's a sackload of shit, and we better kill him immediately.
If he's, I don't know if he's
Shut up,
speaking that in
Tismo. I agree, but
Well,
shut up.
I don't know if he's speaking High Gothic or not, but if
He's
that's,
speaking High Gothic.
Damn it! Then I can't ask him to. Then I can't in character ask him to ask the.
I
next question.
assume that Golgarth is translating it though.
Yeah, I am I would like to say.
So you can
this man
basically
has-
get his tone from what he speaks, and you then get the words after.
All right, thank you. Which means that.
So that's why it's harder for you to tell whether or not he's full of crap.
Thanks for that. Now I can actually then ask him to ask this question. If he is a member of if he's one of these linchpins and he's a great source of information, then he could tell us of other great sources of information.
Yes.
Are there any?
Source.
Well, he made it
from
fairly
SPCs.
clear that, like, don't go to the other nobles because I'm obviously better.
Right. I forgot. He's
Nobles are not
grandstanding.
exactly willing to advertise their
Rivals.
political or otherwise monetary rivals. so to speak. So they're not willing. They're more than willing to tell you everything about themselves, so long as it has to deal with their money.
Wait,
and
did
their
we
power.
did we get his name?
Money.
I don't think we asked for his name.
Didn't.
Hang on.
He's gonna
Shit.
die anyway. Who gives a fuck?
Shit. No, this is gonna be important.
It might be best to get a name so we could could
Alright,
tell people.
The one thing he wasn't prepared for, the name.
No, I'm usually prepared for some of this.
I'm sorry. I gotta.
Oh, wait, what happened? You okay?
He'll be back. Something has happened, obviously.
Oh, I got it. Okay. I'm good now. Are
Alright.
we all prepared for this noble's grand name?
Yes.
Stand.
His name is Sir Friedrich Bollard.
Sir Friedrich Bollard.
Nice name.
Yes. So, should we let Sir Friedrich Bollard go?
I mean, we asked the questions we wanted, and we got whatever information we're gonna get out of him from there. So, unless you have anything you want to ask him in particular, we should probably just go.
Give me a second to think on that. I'm assuming that in a hive world like this the public would not be able to go into a council meeting, correct?
No. Well, actually, kind of, yes. Because, well, the public is the nobles.
Yes, it's true.
I
There we
mean
go.
somebody like us, like our group, would probably not be able to go in, correct?
Not as you are now.
Don't
if
forget to
we-
put that name inside the actual app chat.
Alright. Okay, then. Anyway. Let's just copy that over then.
Oh, I was gonna put in a very perverted, a very stupid way of
Please
naming
don't.
him. Okay,
Please don't.
okay, I
Yeah,
will.
just actually if you're gonna give information, what you should do is make it relevant and useful.
Yeah.
Like killing the guy.
There may be time for that later. But he has important noble things to do.
Is it?
Yeah, like beating
I
his
would like.
meat. Fuck
Shut up!
off.
I would like to also ask.
No,
one
he
more
usually
thing.
gets other people to do that for him.
Yeah.
Ew.
Is it? Would it be possible for us to view one of your council meetings one day?
Make that today.
He basically makes it abundantly clear that you should essentially be of noble birth to ever fully attend there. And I'd like to point out this is not exactly the way somebody speaks to a hierophant of the ecclesiarchy. It strikes you as a bit strange, to say the least. At least among nobles, it's a little bit strange.
You know what? I will hold my tongue to you, sir.
That would be fairly
Fucking
smart.
kill him.
Not yet.
Later.
And with that, though, he says, but it seems it is time for me to get back to work. So, I must bid you adieu. And he says this in the
Goodbye,
most disgusting way possible.
And I would like to say
Yes.
this in this tone. Goodbye, Sir Frederick Bollard.
He doesn't understand the joke and moves on.
Eat ass.
Yeah.
You got the sense that there was something off
Yes.
The moment.
with his tone.
So, that is no way for a noble to treat a Hierophant.
And
He did
Only
speak
for
to you in
anyone
High
who-
Gothic, however, the fact that he, spoke somewhat condescendingly to you is off even for nobles, because at least nobles know that a lot of the time it's the ecclesiarchy that gives them money.
Can we just tell him, oh hey, I got some money for you. All you have to do is follow me to this hive, and then can we kill him? Just blame it on
Well,
He
the
would
that's so
he would
bad.
say, I don't worry, I will send my servants to do that.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. Your servants don't know shit. You need to come with us right now.
He won't go.
So, that could
This
mean one
fucking
thing. That
bitch.
this
Wait,
place is not
could we
funded
get
by
this
the
to
elite
command him to
ecclesiarchy.
follow us?
He won't. He
Ah.
won't listen.
Let's,
He practically ignored everything he said in Low Gothic because he probably barely understood it.
not only that, it's not. There's not the possibility. The most likely possibility, as opposed to them just not being funded by the ecclesiarchy, is that there's heresy afoot.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. And do you know what we do to heretics?
But we can't.
Go to the Inquisitor and tell him he's a heretic.
We can inform that there is the possibility of heresy within the nobility is very high, considering the treatment you received from one of the nobles. It is possible.
Yes.
Do you tell him about this?
Yeah,
I
we
would
should
like
actually
to
I
gain a
want
little
this
bit more
bitch to
information.
die.
Okay. You go back to your ship and you inform him of this prick.
So,
He's a
Um,
prick.
he is, and
This-
that's what I was going for. You people
Mhm.
You people want to kill him, don't you?
I would like to burn him at the stake.
Good.
I
I
would
did
have.
my job.
Yay!
I'd like to break in my new sniper rifle.
So
wanna
the
be
Inquisitor,
so
here's what you
fucking-
here's what transpired, and he is immediately suspicious of this noble in particular, and gives you some info in order to contact an informant. Actually, no, I'm sorry, a specialist that he has on this hive. He hasn't been able to contact him much, but he will attempt to get you into contact with him. It's likely that there's just a lot of Vox traffic, given that he's not using a ship, so it's just a handheld Vox caster.
I see.
So it's likely that he's not getting such good communication.
Yep.
But he's been able to get basically some communication with him, and he will put you into contact with this informant named Samuel. And he will be your inside man.
Sweet.
While you get in contact with him, the Inquisitor will have some other agents work on fabricating you backstories. He tells you that he expects you to go in and infiltrate one of his meetings, so to speak, which is more like a giant, open hall, really, with lots and lots of nobles around.
Open. Is it open?
And he wants you to get in there and see if you can't find anything that would either incriminate him specifically, or really any of the nobles. He didn't really give a shit.
Honestly, yes.
And figure out if it's just heresy, or
Something
somebody
more
didn't
sinister.
teach that boy right.
It could be both.
Which, Inquisitor, you hear him mumble to himself, you hear him mumble to himself that he almost envies you being able to, just, basically, take the guy down.
Catch.
Would you like us to record it for you?
No, he will likely not say anything, that would be worth it. He would prefer to do it himself, but
I
he's
meant
too
the
busy.
recording the killing.
Oh no, he doesn't expect you to kill him yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to what
Not-
we actually do.
Once the Inquisitor must give you the full go-ahead for someone who is likely that important.
Okay.
But when you do, he will make time. He knows this noble and
Almost
has had
sure.
problems with this noble, at least by proxy, has had difficulties with this noble in this particular hive city before, and has always suspected something. But there was nothing ever direct about it. He just seemed very disrespectful, more than normal.
About to put some respect on our
Even to someone on the level of an Inquisitor.
About to really put some
So he
respect on
has always suspected this noble line, I guess, in particular, this noble house in particular. So he puts you in contact with his informant and tells you where to meet him.
All right, let's go there. Let's raise no thing.
All right, you make your way there. You notice that the guards have stopped looking at you with weird expressions, as if, like, they're wondering if the travel ban's been lifted, and more of just suspicion. Considering how you just singled out a noble and just, like, proceeded to almost interrogate him. So,
It does kind of look like that.
moving on. You meet up after about 2 hours. You go to the meeting place. You make it there. It's a bit of a walk. Nyla once again stays with the ship to guard it. And
Tank screw.
it's now going at nighttime. But contact still has not shown up.
Demons
This
in the
could
dark.
be bad.
I hope
Probably is bad.
He could be a sneaky contact, but
It's perfectly fine.
be quiet, you.
Fuck off.
Make me.
Okay.
Please.
Oh,
We're
no.
here and completely vulnerable.
I don't think anyone heard us.
Please. You already broke me once this year.
Don't make me break you twice.
Please don't.
Oh.
The servants of the Inquisitor are never broken.
Oh,
You hear
hello
this
there. You
behind-
must be-
You hear this behind all of you,
Uh-huh.
and you see a man just standing there, slightly below average height. Dude's a little short, but not too much. He's about a couple inches shorter than Golgarth, which I believe is the shortest member of our party.
Wait, how short am I compared to?
Not that much.
3'10".
There's a couple inches difference between you and, like, the tallest person, but he's like a good few inches shorter than you.
Okay.
Stands about 5 feet.
Alright.
5'2", something like that.
No, I thought it was 3'10". Rip.
He speaks to you. He speaks to all of you in Low Gothic right off the bat. He seems very
Triggered.
bit of a dreary fellow. Not one that looks happy very often. Probably because he has to deal with nobles all the time.
Haha, my kind of guy.
And as he says this to you, first of all, he catches you all by surprise because he wasn't there like 2 seconds ago. And then asks you if you are under the employ of an inquisitor.
Yes.
I would like to ask him.
He asks you to name the inquisitor.
Wasn't his name?
That'll be an interesting call to the Inquisitor. Hey, Inquisitor, what's your name?
He has told you his name, and if you call him to ask, you're gonna get slapped through a Vox channel.
I volunteer gold card.
I remember. I remember. I do. I think it's like it's like
Colleen.
Callan.
Callan, yeah.
Yes.
Callan.
Callan.
Yes, Callan.
Yeah, because you were doing that one thing about a hobby that we have, yeah.
Yeah. So he looks at you and gives a slight smirk and almost a sigh of relief. That he finally has somebody who isn't a total asshole to talk to.
Are you sure about
Are you sure about that?
Oh,
I
trust me.
mean,
When you're
Goldberg
dealing
is
with
kind of an
nobles in
asshole.
their own houses, there is nothing more aggravating to listen to. You thought that guy was like spoiled and posh and just an all-around douchey kind of guy. You haven't seen crap.
We haven't seen nothing yet.
And you could tell just by the guy's expression, like, he does not ever want to do that again. He never wants to talk to these people ever. Ever again.
You know, it's a shame a demon prince never showed up.
Oh no.
At
That
least
sounds
then
like
they have a
heresy.
reason to call for exterminatus on this place.
That's almost sounded
Maybe.
heretical. Almost. So
Keep in mind, it's mostly the nobility that you have to deal with. The
common
The
folk
middle
are
hive is
common
mostly
folk.
filled with a whole bunch of nameless people who just work all day long and never see the light of day.
Mhm.
They're certainly not heretical, maybe. Nobles, we're not so sure. So, on, Samuel then explains that he is the informant that you were meant to speak with, and that he managed to get in a communication with the Inquisitor, after a long period of silence due to the Inquisitor being out of comms range. He has spoken with him and has begun to gather intel for you, specifically. He knows when the next meeting will take place for the particular noble, and has also been informed that he has managed to construct backstories for all of you.
Thank you very much.
And so he will also allow you to... He also has managed to find sources where you can acquire clothing of nobility.
That
And-
sounds fun.
So, all of you, roll influence.
It's a good thing I made myself a decent influence for this occasion.
I think that actually passes for me.
I shouldn't have it.
Well, for the purposes of this test, you all have influence equivalent to the Inquisitor.
Oh, so I passed. Good.
The only one who didn't was Quell.
Can I
No,
use influence?
And Autismo,
Not
you two
influence.
aren't able to acquire
He wants to use a fate
proper
roll.
noble attire.
He might want to use a fate roll, he said.
So, but, hang on. I got this, actually. This can work. You come back, you failed to acquire... You two specifically failed to acquire clothing. There wasn't anything that suited your tastes. And so he then suggests that you may actually wear your standard attire. And he will actually, work on acquiring some Arbites armor, actually. And you will pretend to be guards at this event.
Ooh.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
So, to which he then just decides to walk over. You're, by the way, like in a small building. He goes into another room, and just drags an unconscious Arbites and tosses him on the floor.
Oh, well,
Whoa.
And he's like, "There you go, take his stuff."
Whoa,
So-
whoa, whoa.
what
You get
about
the
his
feeling this dude is not exactly like just a regular
informant?
person.
I like this kid.
He's probably older than you, you know.
Fuck off.
Might not be. You can't tell. He's wearing a face mask.
Oh, so he's
You
a
can't really see
warrior.
anything outside of his face, or well, you can't really see much of his face. He's wearing a hood and also like a light face mask to cover like the lower half of his face. Of course, he does not do this when interacting with nobles, but that's for another time. He then goes into the back, say, "I'll be right back," and you then hear he walks down the steps. You're on the second floor. Walks down the steps. You just hear a slam against one of the walls, and about a minute later, he walks back in, throws another Arbites on the floor. Here, take his stuff.
Should we leave?
It's also
this
late at night,
gun?
by the way.
It takes.
Actually, no. I would think you should take their guns and ammo because I think they'd be suspicious of members with las pistols and well.
But I do what I
want, Gilgert.
You see,
He's
that's the point. He's not
the
wrong.
the contact has looked at the weapons. They are there are no fancy weapons among them. In fact, they're of particularly poor craftsmanship.
So in that case, yeah.
In fact, he picks up one of the guns and proceeds to, in a few seconds, take the thing apart.
But
And it just essentially almost crumbles in his hands.
Oh.
Like at the attempt at taking it apart, like it just crumbles in his hands. Like it just falls to pieces.
You know what? We'll show them that this is how you properly arm Arbites.
Oh, by the way, these Arbites are not breathing at the moment.
Oh.
I was thinking they're taking their stuff without their consent, you know?
You know, this
Like,
Listen, it's probably good not to ask questions with this guy. He's probably scary.
Yeah,
It's very scary.
he's
As
intimidating.
long as we can do our jobs.
Can I ask him if he likes anime?
Please, no.
What the hell's an anime?
He fist bumps you.
Yes!
Oh my gosh.
Because if anything, it's just because like the amount of sanity that he's finally managed to like he's lost so much. He felt like as if like his sanity was just falling apart. So he's tired of this shit.
Do you watch it? It's
Oh
fun.
wow. So
God damn.
I
And then-
assume he's gonna get enough of these Arbites in here after a certain amount of time for all of us to
Oh no,
take
that
our
was just
stuff.
for those two. Because the rest of you have noble looking attire.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But he procured some Arbites equipment from willing
I-
participants. Definitely.
I would like to teach the group
Willing
a
to
little
get a
bit of
face
High
full of-
Gothic.
Just
What?
enough to get by.
Yeah, just enough High Gothic to just make sure that they seem noble-ish.
Mm. What do you say, GM? Is that a
Well,
thing?
this will take some time.
Do
But,
we have
um,
said time?
Yeah, before the meeting. That's a good question. Do we
Oh,
have
you'll
time?
have time before the meeting.
All right, cool.
Definitely.
Then I would suggest that everybody, or at least Xion and Luster, learn it
All right, I'll agree
a
to this.
bit at least.
All right, understood.
Since I don't think the Arbites know any High Gothic, or
Hmm.
do Arbites know High Gothic? I would assume not. since
No,
they're
Arbites do not.
arts.
All right, then yeah, that's fitting.
Yeah, like I'm
Arbites know how to take orders in High Gothic, but they don't often they're not often given orders in High Gothic.
Yeah. All right.
And usually it's only the Imperial Arbites.
Okay. Like I would like to at least try to teach at least those three those two how to speak a little bit of High Gothic.
Yeah, you won't be able to do it right now because it's like near the end of the night.
Yeah, but like and starting early in the morning like that.
Yes.
Like tonight, I have the idea, but tomorrow we will. I say, I have an idea. Do you guys agree? And since it seems like they all agree, we will start tomorrow morning when it's fresh.
Yay.
Okay.
Yeah. So he gives you some room to stay, as in like he clears some room on the floor. It's not really beds in this room. It's sort of more of a 2-story shed than anything else.
Do you?
But he will. You will be hidden here. And he's also sent word your ship has departed to under the guise that all of you have left. This is by order of the Inquisitor to make it seem as though you have left.
So good
right
thing we
now,
have
your
dialogue.
personas don't exist. You people don't exist right now. Now you are well, at least for the three of you that are going in as pretend nobles, you don't exist. You're to be known as some other name that you can choose at a later point in time.
Cool.
So, or you could just, claim to have the same name. It's not like nobles are really keen on remembering anything.
My name's Jeff.
For the all intents and purposes, you don't exist. You're now nobles for right now.
Awesome.
Okay.
You are nobles visiting from no, you are recently elevated nobles. Having come into a lot of wealth recently, and are you're not exactly on par with some of the higher up nobles, but should be better than a good number of the lower nobles.
I won the poor man's lottery.
You're important enough to have been invited to a welcoming ceremony of sorts to welcome you into the proper nobility where you rightfully belong. And on that note, he specifically turns to Quell and sends him off to do some scouting of the Arbites, and sends him off already decked out in Arbites gear. You are an Arbites officer of an actual Imperial Arbites, a proper one, and you will be sent out to more or less sabotage the guard shifts of this meeting, and ensure that both yourself and Autismo are there at the same time, and that very few, if any, others are there at all. And we will roll for that at a later date. And so, while that happens, Autismo, is there anything specific you're going to be doing?
Rolling those Autismo good boy points.
I'm scared. It's like he's silent. Like he's gonna say some shit.
Uh-oh.
anything particular you think would be helpful before infiltrating a noble party? Oh, and Jason, you may you have left the party for all intents and purposes for now.
All right. Thanks.
So go in and enjoy sabotaging.
I shall.
And away goes one Imperial Guard, and then there were 4.
Oh no.
Don't worry, he'll be back. It's all part of the plan.
Yep. For viewers, he had an
event
actual
going
real
on.
life things that he needed.
And arrange
Wow, having
to
a
do.
life? What are you, gay?
Yes.
Normies.
Anyway, so we'll be doing a few more preparations to get ready for this. I have to call this. We're going on a heist.
Woo!
At a payday 2
Oh, it's like playing GTA 5 all over again.
No, it's a payday
Never
2
actually-
heist, not GTA.
No.
Hey, Payday 2 ones actually had planning go into them though.
Yeah.
This one doesn't.
This one will.
So
Oh,
this is
okay,
indeed
good.
payday, baby.
So we got one member of our party going and sabotaging the guard shifts. With using proper Imperial authority. Anything else that you might find useful? Perhaps using that sniper rifle to good use.
Yes.
So you can be, yeah, considering, you got that whole, you can be useful, and the off chance that we end up needing to
Split
Shoot a
up.
bitch.
be a little discreet with murder.
Samuel turns to you and asks, do you trust yourself with that weapon?
No.
Yes.
Then he will almost reluctantly trust you. And he suggests that you attempt to overlook it by he thinks for a moment and then decides to pull out a map of this this whole thing, of the whole area around this area. And you could see on this map there is there's a large central building. It takes up a majority of the map. That is likely he says is going to be the meeting hall. And so he points to one of the buildings way off to the side of it, a fair distance away, like on the edge of the map, on the bottom left corner. Notes that as a good overlooking position. There, you can see that there is no buildings obstructing the line of sight from that building to the central hall.
So it makes a good vantage point.
Mm-hmm.
And he suggests that that building, at least the one of the floors, be cleared out. He has yet to survey this building, however, so it could very well be empty. But
But if it's not empty,
this will
we'll
be
just have to
this
look at it.
this whole thing will be happening within a week's time.
Aha.
I don't know if I said a different time earlier, but that's what it's going to be.
You didn't.
So you will have plenty of time to plan this.
All right. Yeah, you hadn't specified a time, so you're good. Don't worry.
Okay, good. I have poor memory.
So
And so he suggests that you could set up there. The rest of you, the other two, will be going in as the guests of honor.
Deal.
okay.
And Samuel will be taking the place of Luster.
Mm-hmm.
That works.
Because they are expecting 3 guests. and it would be a poor showing to not arrive to your own
Coronation type deal.
Welcoming party, yes.
Yeah, it's more like a welcoming party. It's more of just a thing that they do because, well,
Why not?
Why not?
they can flaunt their money again.
Exactly. I was gonna make a money thing. And just,
Yeah, it's an excuse to do that and
Oh yeah.
show the new noble that it's perfectly expected of them to do the same.
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs.
To basically flex their money over people.
the big old money dick.
Yeah, basically, it's fully expected that they use and abuse their newfound power.
Basically, like, welcome to
But
the
also,
Astro
it's
Squad.
possible that if there is a level of heresy within the nobility, they will likely attempt to induct you into it, either directly or subtly.
And that's when we
And
spring
Samuel
it on you.
warns very much against falling to any sort of temptations that they may give,
Don't worry, I got the word.
as tempting as they
I
may
don't.
be.
Check. Accepting as they may be.
Because if you wholeheartedly join them, you will be considered like the level of usefulness as they are, which is less than dirt to him.
Noted. Wouldn't want that.
He is. You could tell by how he treated those two Armites the other day that he is like ready to vent his frustration.
Ooh, pent up frustration. Use it all.
Because he's had to deal with these nobles for a long time. The Inquisitor hasn't told you how long, but you can guess by how
Too long.
almost giddy he seems. He seems very 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 excited to do this.
I would
So
like
he's a
Samuel's
psychopath.
help. I would like Samuel's
Oh no,
help.
he's had to deal with like condescending people for likely years, day in and day out.
Question: will Samuel be
So-
helping me with the high Gothic training? with
No.
those two?
It will, regardless of whether or not he helped you, it will still take at least a day,
Yeah.
regardless of whether or not he helped you.
Okay.
So you won't even learn that much High Gothic. You'll learn basic responses. You'll learn
Yes.
how to understand
no,
it.
Maybe. Oh, that
And-
could actually be a useful skill for everybody.
You won't learn much of it though. You won't know it.
Mm-hmm.
It's most likely you'll probably still need like a translation book.
Yeah.
Which though you're gonna want to if you actually do get one of those, you gotta make sure not to show it to anybody because then they'll make fun of you. And also look down on you because it's expected you should know this. So, he explains that what you'll be looking for are anything that might possibly imply any kind of heresy. There is no evidence, or there is no concrete type of evidence that he knows to look for. He's been unable to find anything because these reports of heresy have started not that long ago.
Yeah, I see.
Actually,
At least not as as overt as this.
Should we tell Samuel about what happened in the other hive city? To see if it's related at all.
Sure, go ahead. Seems like a good
Alright.
idea.
Well, you tell him about it, and he thinks for a moment. Believes it to be worth investigating, but not now, as it's a bit more important that you focus on what you do now.
Oh, I was just
I need to
saying
pull
if
this
there's
off.
if there's a correlation between the two, like when
He doesn't really know. It doesn't sound like it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
It doesn't sound like it due to the fact of that sounded
Hostile.
a total military coup,
As opposed to what's
as opposed
happening.
to what essentially could amount to a just a subtle manipulation of pretty much the entirety of its government, more or less. This is the main hive
Okay.
of the Imperial world of promise. Like, this is the hive. So basically its seat of government is here.
Okay.
And that's essentially what this what you're doing now is basically trying to uncover the heresy of not just this hive, but possibly the entire planet.
Okay.
This is not a job to be taken lightly.
All right.
Any other preparations you should make?
I'm actually wondering.
There will be
Can I
some
practice?
time before it starts.
Can
So-
I try to craft a silencer for my sniper rifle?
No.
Hmm. Let me see. Not right now.
Okay.
I'm
But
just.
Samuel will assist you with that, as he would prefer not to try and have to orchestrate a loud noise to happen every time that a natural sounding loud noise every time you would fire.
Bang.
He doesn't want to be sniper elite.
I have another question. Are we allowed to bring weapons to this orientation?
Nope.
Or no? Okay.
No visible weapons.
All right. I was wondering if
Let
I
me
could hide
do-
the flamer in my.
Let me get that concealed carry of this las pistol.
No visible weapons.
So if I could hide my las pistol on my persons, I could have this.
Yep.
I would like to hide my hand flamer in my pocket or in my
I don't-
arm.
Could you hide that? in your
The exceptions being Quell and Tismo
for
don't.
obvious reasons.
They would be more out of place without weapons than
With
anything, because they are going to be acting as guards.
yep.
I'm wondering if I could ask Quell to hold my eviscerator for me. Or is that be too out of
That will
place?
be you will leave it at the
Yeah, you should
at
leave
this
it
warehouse.
because
This
that's gonna
is
look
like-
out of. That's gonna look bad.
yeah, you're not even a priest right now.
hmm
You're right.
Like, you are acting as a noble.
And they're gonna ask questions of why is one of the Arbites holding an eviscerator of all things.
Yeah. Arbites do not carry eviscerators at all.
You see, you have to think about these things.
It's
No,
rare
that's-
enough that they carry las weapons.
That's why I was asking. Just
Just
Yeah, you would leave it
double-checking.
at the storehouse.
all right.
This
Yeah.
is your base here,
We base in here, boys.
Okay.
and I will draw up a map in the next few days.
Much
Few
appreciated.
people to look over.
Thank you.
I'll have to hand draw this one,
Samuel will draw the map.
but that
for
won't be
us.
too hard. It'll just be a grid map.
Hand draw. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get grid paper and
Okay.
just draw it. So it's just gonna be like building here, building here, building here, target here.
Is this the
See.
end of the session?
If none of you have anything else to do,
I
I
don't.
or you would like to discuss it later,
don't really know.
or think about it, I guess I should say.
Yeah, because I don't really know where else we can go.
Would you like
from here.
to think about your options? Then we will pick this up with a little bit more planning and finishing up, getting ready for the heist next week.
All right.
I can't
Alright.
wait to
Bye,
kill the
everybody.
fucking.
That
bitch.
does sound good. I think we can wrap up here and then move
Come
on
on,
to next
sir,
and worry
Frederick.
about next week.
Fetrick Baldwin.
Technium. But yeah,
What are you even? Anyway,
I
I thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all again next time.
bye everyone.
Bandit, signing
Goodbye.
off.
Remember to like and subscribe.
Die.
Fuck
He already
off.
stopped the recording.